To the midterm elections, there's a lot for voters to digest, especially today's blockbuster jobs report. And many have taken to saying that the jobs numbers, they say, well, they haven't changed much from Obama to Trump, both around 200,000 a month. But for me, what's more important is the composition of the jobs report. Case in point, construction has the second highest weekly pay of all industries at just over $1,500. In the last 2 years under Obama, there were 2,000 construction jobs. In the first 2 years under Trump, 47,000. Now, for lesser skilled workers, there's also been a major shift out of retail and leisure jobs into transportation and warehouse jobs. So that's really great when you consider that your weekly wages for retail is $583, leisure $420. You can move into those warehouse jobs, you almost double it at $955. And that's, well, those are those blue-collar workers who propelled President Trump to victory in the first place in 2016. The question now, will history repeat itself on Tuesday? Joining me now, Forbes senior political contributor Rick Unger, and advisor for the National Diversity Coalition for Trump, Madison Jessiato, and the president of District Media Group, Beverly Hallberg. Beverly, let me start with you. I know there are other issues out there, but I'm told by the experts it normally comes down to your pocketbook and wallet, and people are doing extraordinarily well.
Absolutely. That's going to matter. I know that President Obama, when he speaks today, he's probably going to take some credit for the economy as he's done in past speeches. We know it's not because of the Obama economy or the presidency, but of Trump. But I think beyond that, while the economic issues matter, I actually think what is driving certain people to get out there and vote during a midterm election, which usually doesn't have this much enthusiasm, is that they're tired of the tactics of Democrats, whether it's the Kavanaugh hearing, whether it is trying to run people out of restaurants, whether it's trying to incite violence. I think there has been such an undercurrent of Republicans and even independents saying, I'm going to get out there and vote because I don't like what Democrats are doing. And so I think that is the tipping point for Republicans if that's still going to hold through Tuesday.
No, Rick, I think there's some truth to that when you look at early voting. I'm shocked at how strong early voting has been for Republicans so far.
It's very interesting. Yes, it has been strong for Republicans. The other side of that coin, I suppose, we're seeing massive increases in younger people voting early. We don't know yet what that means. It probably leans more to the other side.
And the majority have been women of early voters as well.
Yes. So, look, it's very interesting what's going on here. This is going to be an election. We all thought it was going to be a certain thing. This is going to be an election that I think is going to answer a lot of questions. You pointed out that people typically vote their pocketbook, and there's obviously a lot of truth to that. I have a suspicion that they vote their pocketbook when things are bad. I don't know the answer. I'm anxious to see if they vote their pocketbook when things are good, as they obviously are. It's going to be an interesting thing.
Sometimes they take it for granted, too.
Yeah.
You know, Madison, listening to Oprah Winfrey yesterday, who, by the way, it was an amazing speech that she gave, but it had tones, right, of them versus us, the things that have happened to women not being able to vote in the past, to blacks not being able to vote in the past. And you kind of feel like that part of the Democratic message has really been echoed louder than almost anything else. And that always kind of bothers me, the politics of I think it's a divisive way to go about it.
You know, I think part of the reason why Republicans will have a historic midterm election next Tuesday is the fact that the Democrats really don't have a strong message. They don't have strong leadership. The same energy that we saw on the campaign trail back in 2016 for President Trump is the same energy that I'm seeing now across this country leading up to the midterms. I think that people are really excited about a lot of the identifiable results that have directly impacted their lives that have been produced as a result of Republican policies, specifically the president's policies. We've seen deregulation. We've seen tax cuts. And as a result, people are getting good jobs, not just any jobs, like you mentioned, but good jobs, higher paying jobs. They're seeing their wages increase. I mean, they're really, really happy about these things because these are things that they can quantify in their own lives. And that's what I think it's going to come down to when they vote next Tuesday.
Beverly, you're the communications expert. Both sides, what do you think they're going to be harping on as we go into the last 3 or 4 days, 3 days?
I think we're going to hear a lot more anti-Trump rhetoric. That's really what Democrats have run on. And I'll even like to say when it comes to the former President Barack Obama, he went on the message of hope and change. Even Michelle Obama came out a few weeks ago saying that we shouldn't incite violence if you disagree with what somebody says. What Democrats have went on in the past usually was a more aspirational message. The message we're hearing today is a very anti-Trump message, and also a message that says if you want strong border security, you're probably racist, that if you support Kavanaugh, you support support sexual harassment and you are against a woman's right to choose. So I think what they have attached themselves to is a very negative message, which only works for the hardcore base. I actually think it really makes the other side and independents coalesce and say, look, I don't agree with that type of name calling. I'm going to get out there and vote because of the tactics we're seeing.
Rick shaking his head,
I just got to say, Beverly, I think you're overstating it. Yes, there is some of that, to be sure. But I think if you really dig into the local races, the congressional races, that conversation is much more about health care issues like that than it is some strong anti-Trump message. And Charles, if you'll allow me, because it's Friday, to my old Ohio State University pal Madison, go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
Before we delve into that, because I'm going to be saying roll tide in a minute.
Ooh.
I want to ask you, though, Rick, referendum on President Trump?
To some degree.
You'll let me know Wednesday.
I'll let you know Wednesday. I think a little bit less so than I thought it was going to be, but yes, it's clearly part of it.
Madison, referendum on President Trump?
I think it's going to be a strong red wave on Tuesday. I think people are excited about the president, his policies, and the next, many years hopefully to come.
Beverly, when it's all said and done, will the postmortem on this Wednesday be it was a referendum on President Trump?
It depends on how it goes. I don't like to make predictions, but I do think that the blue wave is not as strong as they think.
All right. Thank you all very, very much. A great panel, Madison, Rick, and Beverly.
I thank you. God bless you, and may he continue to bless the nation that has showered this land with love for more than 2 centuries. Thank you all. God bless you all.